What's going on, everybody? Today we got a video. We're gonna see what this black king what he needs answers on. So let's go through a few of these videos, and I'm sure it's gonna be some fire. We're gonna drop some knowledge, share some information.
And I know now, especially in dating, it's all about money, right? How much money does he have? Can he pay my bills? I'm not doing 50-50, blah, 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 blah. So two things. Number one, if you're dating a black man, 9 times out of 10, he didn't come into wealth. He didn't come from money, right? That's just the reality of it. So
Okay, so real quick, right? I got a question for my black women, and I promise, can we please be respectful with the answers? I promise I'm not bashing, I'm not talking down to, or none of that. And it's windy outside right now. I came to get some food, so my bad if the wind is getting in the mic and you could barely hear me. Something I've never understood black women is how, black men and black women will stand with each other when it's time to speak up against the racial indifferences and, prejudice that we deal with when it comes to dealing with or competing with the other side. We have a very clear understanding that black people, take man and woman out of it, black people, we are competing against people that have a 500-year head start on us. We are very aware that we don't have the same economical opportunities that the other side has. When we're standing together and we bring up those things, everyone seems to have a clear understanding, right? But for some reason, when we start talking about provision in relationships, that's when black women start asking questions like, why don't the black man provide like the white man? And it always stumps me because I'm like, you know why? You were just standing on this side and talking about how black men and women don't have the same economical opportunities. We got to work twice as hard to get half the pay, half the credit. But when it comes to relationships and things that y'all want to benefit from, now is, why don't the black man provide like the white man? Again, I'm not bashing. It's just an honest question. It's a dynamic that I've never understood. If you have stood on this side and fought alongside black men, understanding why they don't have the income or the opportunities to provide like the white man, then why, when it comes to getting something you want, is why don't we provide like them?
He has an excellent point there. I mean, very well spoken and very well said by this brother. I have to be honest, I really can't add anything on to that because he just cooked. He really just cooked that up. And everybody knows what the situation is. I just kind of feel like that people want to put black men down. Our own women want to put black men down because I'll say it like this: black men speak negatively about them as well. Now, I'm not going to say that we don't have a reason. There's reasons for everything. There's reasons why our women act the way they do. There's reasons why we can't provide the way we need to provide. Life is complex. I'll just say get in where you fit in. Go where you feel like you're best provided for, where you're best taken care of, and where people love you the best. Because America is a big place, and there's a lot of people out there who will accept you for who you are and what you have.
Now, but I love black women. I think they are my preference, but it's harder to, it's harder to date them. Especially like if you're under 6 foot. I mean, that's a big deal, being over 6 foot. But girls from other races, they're like, does he make 3,000 pounds a year? Did he go to Cambridge, Oxford? And if you did that, it's a wrap. They're gonna take you. But I don't think black women generally value the education and that different kind of clout, right?
And I have to completely agree with this man because I lived in Atlanta for a long time. True story. I lived in Atlanta, and we all know what Facebook dating is. I'm on Facebook dating, and I'm getting no love in Atlanta on Facebook dating. Y'all know me. Y'all know I started going overseas, became a passport bro. Then I moved to middle America, where black people are maybe 5 to 7% of the population. And I have Latinas, Mexican girls, Asian girls, white girls. Everybody's hitting me up. And out here, I'm living like a king. I'm freaking loving it. They're literally the exact same profile that I had in Atlanta. I'm using here in Middle America, and I'm getting all these other races. And to keep it 1,000, I'm still having more issues with the black women than with these other races. And black women, I'm trying to hold y'all down. But, I mean, you got to go where you're accepted. What I think about it is when I was living in Atlanta, I was just another black guy. And I'm not even the best looking or the most successful black guy. I mean, if you're not a doctor or a model, top 10% of looks, top 10% of earners. In Atlanta, where it's majority black people, you're probably not going to get the best choices. But when I come out here to Middle America and I'm one of the few and I'm actually a successful black guy, I think the other races look like, oh, he's one of the good ones. Oh, we can introduce him. He's intelligent. We can introduce him to our family. So I kind of think that's what the dynamic is there, because they see me as a successful and not a risk of making them look bad. African American women, while I'm here in Middle America, they see me as a square. I was told that on my first African American date, literally. But I mean, it's fine, because I know who I am and what I can get out of life. Let's keep it moving though.
More American men need to hear this. Dating an American woman is the worst decision you'll ever make. American women will make you broke. You try to give them the world, and they'll take the world, but then they'll ask for some more.
want the universe.
Let me have some more. Is there any more you got? Oh, I have all of it. The only way you can date an American girl is if for some reason you find joy in losing.
So it's not just the African Americans that are having trouble with dating in America. Even our Caucasian brothers are having trouble. So to piggyback off of what he was saying, I was just dating a Korean girl, and literally she paid for the second date. Now that shows a different level of value and interest when you're actually just about going 50-50. I mean, if I paid for the first date and you paid for the second date, I now see you as an asset to my life. See, this is why I get called a square, because I stay far away from that behavior right there. Now, I just told you, old girl on a date called me a square. It's because on our first conversation after the date, she decided to bring some drama into my life. And as soon as she decided to bring that drama into my life, I told her, look, I guess we're just not compatible. You need to leave. Cut that type of drama out of your life immediately. Nip it in the butt so it never gets to that point, because you know you will go to jail if you put your hands on her the way she put her hands on him. No drama, no ratchetness. Let's keep it moving. Let's get this money. And if you have to, if push come to shove, you need to go overseas, do that. That's why we wear this American hat. But trust me, America is a big place. If your city is not working for you, you go to the next city and it'll probably work for you. If you're in a majority black city and it's not working for you and you're successful, go to a majority white city. Go to a majority Mexican city. I mean, there's plenty of options out here on this planet and just in America for you to choose from.
I don't want to hear nothing else about black women being the most disrespected person in America. I don't want to hear it no more. Because until we ready to address the real tea, which is we disrespect ourselves on a level that's astronomically higher than any other race attempting to disrespect us. We follow anybody with a pink, purple, blue front lace wig on. Our morals and mindset is not the same as our grandparents or our grandmothers, and we done abandoned anything and everything to do with decorum and gentleness and femininity. Like, all of that is just a thing of the past, but then we wonder why we so disrespected. This a whole fool. The truth is, you get what you give, and before anybody can learn to respect you, you must lay the blueprint of how you want to be respected. Ain't nobody taking us seriously when all we promote is turning our tails up in the sky and twerking and shaking it like a skunk. We need to get back to what matters, but the truth is, we play too much. We want to be entertained all the time, and half of us can't entertain a viable conversation of substance for longer than 20 minutes because our attention span is so low. I already know they're gonna say this video is hating, and I'm a hater, but guess what? I am. I'm hating on the fact that the most beautifully created women on the face of this earth have now been brought low and made to be cartoon characters. Just something for everybody to laugh at. But guess what? They not laughing with us, they laughing at us. And I'm definitely hating on that.
More power to you, sister. I definitely agree with you. You look online and you look on the radio stations, on TV, what do you see? The Glorrillas, sounding like a man, Sexy Red, acting very ratchet and thottish, and that's what's being projected to the whole world. And I hate to keep bringing up other communities and other races, but when you go hang around these other communities and these other races, the women are still sweet, they're still feminine, they dress feminine, they act like ladies, and everywhere in the world promotes positivity in their community, except for our community. Our community is the women saying they don't like or they don't need the black men, and the black men talking about how they can't stand what the black woman's doing. But let me be honest. Can anyone but black women stand what black women are doing right now? Maybe the white man, because he appreciates the black man being oppressed and emasculated. Then he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to take the blame for it. He appreciates the black community filling up his jails so he can make profit. It's just so crazy that we can't see how we're harming ourselves and hurting our own community. But let's keep it moving.
African American woman, it is imperative that we change what's going on in our community. We have had our independence. We asked for this, we asked for that. We took it, we ran, we got drunk off power, and we kind of burned the shit down. It's time to change. If you look at your grandmother and your great-grandmother, they were the glue that held families together. They were the matriarchs. We are now choosing to destroy families. And we're destroying families behind feelings. We're not looking at the big picture. We're not looking at the community as a whole. We're hyper-individualizing everything and saying, I don't have to take this. I'm tired. I don't have to do anything. We don't have to do anything. We act like we don't need our men. And that's insane. That's insane. We need our men. Our men need us. And as soon as they say we don't need you, we go into another race, you guys get in your feelings. Don't say you don't. You get in your feelings. We're destroying our children. So we're dominating our men, trying to dominate our men, taking away their masculinity, and leaving them to feel like they're incapable because we just cannot be satisfied. Then we're destroying our children because we're leaving our men, and we're all single mamas. We're baby mamas. So now our kids have crisis and identity issues and mental health issues. And then we're destroying ourselves because over 60% of us are obese, depressed. And then we're like, we wonder why. Why does our community look like this? Why around the world are we being laughed at? It's almost like we have some invisible, bitter woman on a high horse saying, hold the line, ladies, hold the line. We're doing great. And we dig our heels in. We're better than this. I'm going to help. We're going to learn together.
I surely agree. One of the biggest problems I have with our community is the single mothers. So I honestly don't believe that a woman can raise a young man. Now, a woman can probably raise a good young woman, but a woman cannot raise a young man to be a young man. And I've seen this particularly in my family. This is where I'm getting my evidence from. So what I'm saying is a young man needs to see his father go to work every day, treat his mother nice, be happy, how he reacts in the world, and this he picks up from his father, even if it's just subconsciously. Well, he might pick these things up from his mother, but not to the same extent that a young man would pick this up from his father. And a young man is going to need a positive male influence. Now, he's going to seek a male influence regardless, and whether it's on the streets, whether it's on the radio, but it will be best if it's from his father, because his father's going to want the best for him. And another thing that is very entertaining to me is that these women consistently complain about men being inefficient when they're literally raising and producing these inefficient men. They're being produced in these single mother homes is where these inefficient men are being made, and then a single mother with sons are going to complain about the men that she's dating and how inefficient they are. And just perpetuating the cycle. But that's all I had for y'all today. We have some relationship advice and how our communities need to interact and better respect and love each other. But we're going to get there because I think social media is getting everybody on the same page, and everyone is starting to realize that there is a problem and we can fix the problem. And the problem is not just with us as a community. There's a bigger force. There's a whole nation that is against us that we need to address as well.